Hey, what up, guys? It's Vesper. So we finally got a news update for Project L, aka Project Lit. It's a pretty big one too, guys, which is nice because I've been trying to keep you guys updated for about 3 years now on this game, every now and again. If you've been in the dark, don't worry. I'll do a really quick summary since it has been a while. I think like a year actually since Project L was announced. So Project L is the placeholder name for Riot's new fighting game featuring characters from the League of Legends universe. It's literally a League fighting game. Now, what's even more interesting is the team designing this game are also the creators of Rising Thunder, which was a free to play accessible fighting game featuring one button special moves with cooldown timers for each special move to balance it out. Very interesting. It sounds familiar too, kind of like a League game. Anyways, that team was composed of Tom and Tony Cannon, who you guys should know by now because these guys are the founders of Evo Evolution, which is the biggest fighting game tournament event in the world. And if that's not enough, they're also, the founders of Shuriken.com, one of the biggest fighting game websites, and even still, they are the creators of the godlike rollback netcode that we all know and love called Good Game, Peace Out, aka GGPO. And Seth Killian, who was also a fighting game producer slash advisor for Capcom when they were working on Street Fighter 4, he was involved before, but now he's out of the picture now. So this team was called Radiant Entertainment before, and these guys were acquired slash hired by Riot. So they got some serious people in FGC who are now working exclusively on Project L. Now that was a long time ago, man. This game has been in the works for many years. So long that we weren't even sure this game was going to be a thing. But finally, the game was announced with very, very little gameplay footage over a year ago, sometime in like October 2019, I think, off the top of my head. It's been dark ever since, though, with no real information. Like, seriously, Tom Cannon even told us on his Twitter that they're working hard and don't expect anything for a while, and even had to pin this comment because people were fiending this game, man, fiending for information, like myself. So that was basically the quick summary, guys. You're pretty much caught up on the now. All right, guys, time for the big news. So the word on the street is, guys, that Riot is sending out these surveys to random people in the LA area that play any Riot game for an in-person playtest sessions. Really sick. So now, of course, they don't specifically say which game they want to play test, but it's very, very easy to guess, especially since we have leaks. So now you can read, that they mention on the screen that the contents of the survey are not to be shared. But as always, these things kind of have their way of showing up. So it turns out the survey, the contents of the survey, even though we can't specifically show the questions, is all fighting game questions. There you go. Such as, what fighting games are you playing right now? Or have you played Street Fighter or Tekken? Yada yada, etc. So obviously, guys, these questions are specifically for Project L, and so that means this playtest is for Project L. We can easily deduct that. And if you're ready, if they are ready to start inviting outsiders to this, to check this game out, we can also assume we're getting really close now. Really close to another announcement. So all these years, man, finally some big news. It's interesting too because I expected some big time, big league streamers or some big FGC members would also be invited to this by default, but they seem to be specifically targeting, casual players in the LA area, of course, because it's like, an in-game play session, probably because of, the pandemic going on, but there are also people who play other Riot games that the survey is for. So this tells us that Riot needs to see if casual players will be interested in this from the get-go. They want to know if they can, casual players can hang with it without prior fighting game experience. So this is interesting because Valorant, on the other hand, is extremely competitive. And they started sending invites to many pro players before you even saw a lot of game testing footage to check the game first. I'm sure Project L is going to be competitive in some shape or form, especially tied to Evo with the founders. But since it's a fighting game, guys, at the end of the day, it's a different beast, man, altogether. It's no surprise that fighting game developers have been scratching their heads and struggling to make a fighting game both accessible, but also very competitive with a long-lasting player base. It's like this code that's never been cracked. So the in-person playtest dates are around next month. Okay, so it's very, very soon. Very, very soon. So if you guys are lucky to get this, man, congrats. That's crazy. That's crazy. And they said they could also bring a friend with you. So you guys know who to hit up if you guys need to invite somebody to this. Hit me up or send me the deets. I need to know the details on what's going on as well. So now with that information, the big question is, when are we getting the next announcement? Riot still hasn't even announced the official title of the game yet. Well, like usual, guys, my best guess is Evil, right? It's gotta be Evil. I always guess Evil when it was first announced, and Evil was where the League of Legends fighting game was finally, first confirmed before they even showed gameplay of it. Tom Cannon said it on the stage. So I'm going to assume that they're also going to announce it at Evil on the stage as well, since the founders of Evil are the same people working on the game, of course, and Evil is a direct lifeline to the FGC. It makes perfect sense. Most of the big fighting game news is presented at Evil. Now, I know someone's going to bring up the drama that happened last year with Evil Online, being canceled and all that, but don't worry. Now with the partnership with Sony, it looks like we'll definitely be having Evil this year. And also, I wouldn't think that the partnership with Sony would interfere with anything, since it's not going to interfere with the tournaments or the organizations behind it. So I'm not too worried about that either. They wouldn't partner with Sony in the first place if it interfered with any future plans like that. So the best case scenario would be if Project L is announced with its title and new gameplay footage at this year's Evo, which is probably around August time. Will be, in the summer, so a few months away. And if that does happen, we can also expect to see a beta test within a few months afterwards, because we go by the history of other Riot projects that were officially announced for their other games. They had beta tests just a few months, 2 or 3 months after, including Legends of Runeterra and Project A, which became Valorant, right? So super, super exciting, man. I can't wait to see drops enabled on FGC streams someday. Oh man, it's like, dude. But honestly, guys, I hope this game sends a shockwave to the FGC, man. I mean, it's just this market. I feel like we've been dormant for so long to see a game that has the potential to be this big, right? To have a giant player base that we have never experienced before. And Riot has been dominating the market, man. You cannot deny it, man. Whether it's card games or the team fight tactics, man, or even Valorant, right, which has a giant player base that already exceeded many games of similar genres, man. I mean, they've been doing very, very well. But I have to say, man, fighting games are just a different beast. It always will be. So it's really hard to put your foot in there and really try to change how things work. And that's what I want, man. I want things to change. Of course, I'm very biased, man. I used to love playing League, and this is something, like I said, kind of a pipe dream I've been covering over the years on my channel. And when we got that small gameplay footage, man, it was only like 12 seconds of footage. Me and Mir savagely broke down that footage. It was like a 40, 50-minute video, man. I can't wait to do that again. So we'll see how that turns out for you guys in the future. I'll obviously keep you guys posted on it, and we'll see if everything goes the way it should. Alright, guys, let me know in the comments below. Are you guys still interested in this game? What are your concerns? And what are your guys' hopes for it? And yeah, we'll go from there, guys, for the next update. Alright, guys, have a good one. Peace out.